everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. As you can imagine, conducting a full transition within 2 weeks is a challenge, but our team has been working swiftly to make appointments to key positions. So today, I'm proud to announce the appointment of 2 qualified individuals to the Department of Public Safety, as well as my successor to be the next treasurer of the City of St. Louis. First, I'd like to introduce my appointments to the Department of Public Safety. During my campaign, I plainly stated that now is the time to start having the tough conversations on what really holds our beloved city back: racism, lack of accountability, and too many inefficiencies to count. The decision to appoint these individuals was based on their willingness to have the tough conversations and their ability to hold everyone within the Department of Public Safety accountable to their commitment to protect and serve the people of the City of St. Louis. I'm proud to announce that I am appointing former Police Commissioner Dan Isom as the Interim Director of Public Safety. Mr. Isom served the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department for nearly 25 years and brings with him a wealth of experience, education, and accolades. Even after his retirement in 2012, Mr. Isom has been dedicated to pushing for equitable and compassionate criminal justice, bringing his expertise to the classrooms at St. Louis Community College, Harris-Stowe State University, and the University of Missouri-St. Louis. Most notably, Mr. Isom served as the co-chair of the Police Community Relations Task Force on the Ferguson Commission. With Mr. Isom as an interim director, we will begin the tough but necessary conversations and in the effort to rebuild trust between our community and our police officers. I'm also proud to announce the appointment of retired Police Sergeant Sgt Taylor as Senior Advisor to the Director of Public Safety. Sgt Taylor was born and raised on the north side of St. Louis, just like me, and has personally witnessed the devastating effects of intentional disinvestment and over-policing of our most vulnerable residents. Sgt Taylor served more than 20 years in the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, including being the first female sergeant assigned to the Homicide Division. As the former president of the Ethical Society of Police, she has been an outspoken champion for major reforms to combat racism, misinformation, and outdated practices that have bogged down the police department for decades. I believe Sgt Taylor's voice and sense of what is right and just is exactly what this moment calls for, and I have the utmost confidence that she will help lead us on a new trajectory. There's a lot of work to get done to rebuild trust with and within our police department, to make our neighborhoods safer, to make sure our Department of Public Safety has the tools they need to respond quickly to the wave of violence plaguing our city. This work won't happen overnight, but I'm confident that with Director Isom's and Sgt Taylor's guidance under my administration, we'll be able to put the public back in public safety. Next, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Mr. Layne as the new treasurer of the City of St. Louis. Adam has a bachelor's of business administration and finance from George Washington University, a master's of education from the University of Missouri-St. Louis, and a long history as an educator, mentor, and financial advisor. Adam's passion for public service and his professional experience in both finance and education, including his time in the Treasurer's office as my Deputy Chief of Staff, gives me the faith that he will be a strong partner to my administration, holding the city's banking decisions to a standard that prioritizes racial equity and transparency, and that he'll continue to provide critical financial literacy programs to support the people of St. Louis through the Office of Financial Empowerment. I am proud to pass the torch to Adam and look forward to working with him in the mayor's office. At this time, I'll turn it over to the next treasurer of the City of St. Louis. Wow, that feels funny saying that. For some introductory remarks.
Thank you, Mayor-elect. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I am truly honored and excited for this opportunity to serve as the next treasurer of the city of St. Louis. While serving in the treasurer's office, I've been beyond blessed to be part of a high-performing team, or the baddest team in local government, and observe firsthand the way a poised leader conducts themselves and the way an elected official should operate, with honesty, integrity, and transparency. Tishaura, you're leaving some very impressive shoes to fill, and I don't just mean the red Chucks. For the last 8 years, you've worked to rebuild and fortify the Treasurer's office, showing your dedication to this city and all those for whom St. Louis is home. St. Louis is my home. I came here over a decade ago with my finance degree and one burning question: where am I most needed? That question led me to first serving high school students in the algebra, trig, and pre-calc classrooms of St. Louis Public Schools. It led me to being the most needed in directing youth programs to give kids in our city their best chance at high school success, transformative leadership experiences, and pathways to four-year colleges and universities, all while managing a staff of 12 and a budget of $1 million. It led me to being most needed writing curriculum for St. Louis-based organizations looking to strengthen their frameworks and strategic plans while also advising them on their financial sustainability. It led me to doing research and designing training at WashU's Academy on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And the question, where am I most needed, led me to running for the Board of Education in the city of St. Louis, advocating relentlessly in the pursuit of making every SLPS school a quality school and having to be a good steward of over $400 million. Right now, I am most needed as the next treasurer of the city of St. Louis. Our city is at a crossroads in more ways than one. Couple the unique issues of St. Louis with the world trying to emerge from a global pandemic, and I still see what I've always seen in St. Louis: potential. We have an opportunity for our city's government to be transformational and not be limited by our current circumstances, but inspired by the potential we possess. The potential created by the synergies we can now realize between the Treasurer's Office and the Mayor's Office to bring real and meaningful change to all of St. Louis. I'm ready to work for St. Louis, and more importantly, I'm ready to work with St. Louis. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam, and I look forward to working with you. And at this point, I'll take any questions you have. How do we plan on tackling crime? So, as I've said on the campaign trail, we need to put the public back in public safety. And that means a few things. That means declaring gun violence as a public health crisis and working with our flagship hospitals and universities to do so. Crime and violence don't stop at our borders, and neither should our solutions or our approach. So I plan on bringing our neighbors to the west and the east to the table. And lastly, we need to look at how we staff our public safety department, staffing it with differently abled professionals so police aren't the only answer when you dial 911.
Overnight, we did have another shooting on Highway 70. Are there conversations about allocating our officers to patrol the highways? Is that something that our public safety office will look at?
Well, we have to bring all the prevention tools to the toolbox and bring those all to the table. So we can only have one mayor at a time. But please know that this is something we will absolutely be taking a look at. We have to make sure that we use all of the methods to keep all St. Louisans safe.
Now, you mentioned that Dan Isom is going to be the interim public safety director. Is he going to be a stopgap before you hire somebody permanently, or is it just the title until he gets confirmed by the board of aldermen?
No, we will be conducting a national search, but I could not start this administration without a public safety director. We all know that Mr. Edwards retired on the 31st. And so we will be conducting a national search. And if it's so that they choose Dan, then and he stays, then that'll be it. Yes.
What's your stand on the gun control issue? President Biden obviously wanting to pass some reform there. Where do you stand, and what can you do as mayor here locally?
Well, unfortunately, our state legislature has preempted the cities from enacting any gun laws, and they did that back in 2013. However, I do support the executive orders that President Biden is considering or has put forward. We have to do what we can to make sure that we have responsible gun ownership. You know, I've often said that I don't believe in, you know, if you think that AR-15 is what you need to hunt deer, then maybe you should take up another hobby. So, you know, we have to do what we can on the federal and local level to combat gun violence.
Do you think that the police officer should have a collective bargaining agreement? They're at impasse right now. How do you see Public Safety Director Isom addressing that and breaking through?
Well, absolutely. I think they should have a collective bargaining agreement. They've had one for years. However, looks like we have to come back to the table because there's an impasse.
How historic is this moment for you right now, these appointments, and how many more appointments do you have to make?
This is a very historic moment. I'm so happy that when I made the call to Chief Isom that he agreed to come back, and also Sgt Taylor, that she agreed to move all the way back from Florida. She just left a month ago. But this is going to be very historic, and I'm just so humbled to work with two professionals who really know public safety and really want to lead with prevention, because we have to transform our public safety department to one that leads with prevention, and I know that Heather and Dan are the ones to get it done.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.